Come on in, come on in. Yeah, what's up? The instance loading has completed. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Okay.
Charging right now.
Yeah. All right. Ready? Good. Good.
Everybody good?
Okay. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond, welcome to Furnal Equinox's first ever VRChat intro and meet and greet panel. Somebody want to poke their head out real quick, check to see if anybody else is trying to get in?
No.
No? Oh, okay, good. This instance is capped. Go to the next one. So, how many here have never played VRChat before, or maybe are coming back from an extended break, or do play VRChat, but maybe want to see what else is out there other than mirror dwelling all day long? Show of hands?
Yeah.
Okay, fair numbers, fair numbers.
VRChat here.
So,
Yeah.
this is mBlade,
Hi.
creator of Tailbase, and volunteer for the Furnal Equinox virtual team.
Yeah.
Back there is Lilithe Lotor, who is the team leader for the Furnal Equinox virtual team. Also responsible for designing all of Furnal Equinox's virtual worlds, including a recreation of the Weston Harbor Castle and its medieval version. If you went to the portal today, you saw that work firsthand.
Yeah. Thank you, Lilith.
I would love to say that Nick Starr, who is actually at the convention this year, did a lot of work on it, and there's another person, 1QE2 from Spain, who also as well this year. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was a massive team effort to put not only the portal together, but to build the world and even put this panel together. Along with our team, it also includes TJ Coyote, a resident of New Jersey who was the mastermind behind our original presentation, and Chief, who runs the Fluffy Furry Friends, an international group of furs from all over the world out of Pennsylvania. Welcome to our presentation. So, for those of you who are new to VRChat or just learning about what VRChat is, it is essentially a massive social gathering and gaming platform. It is hosted on Steam for free. You do not need a VR headset in order to play. You can play in what is called desktop mode. It's very similar to playing a first-person shooter. But if you want to get a more immersive experience, then you can buy VR headsets. It's an opportunity to meet people, to socialize, to show off your creativity through building your own worlds, building your own avatars. Those who suffer from access issues or social anxiety or other things that might limit their ability to interact with people face-to-face or otherwise can find some relief in playing VRChat. For a number of people, it's more than just a video game or some chat room somewhere. Blade, you want to talk about some of the headsets?
Yeah, I guess so. There's a lot of headsets out there, I guess, as you guys all may know. We're still waiting for the index killer, right? For the next version. It's getting pretty old.
I'm tired of index now.
Right? Like I got mine. It's like it feels like I don't want to break it.
Face masks.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out there. But
Quest Pro.
Quest Pro, maybe. Some people got it with the eye tracking, face tracking. It looks pretty appealing.
Yeah.
So,
I'll look at that and filming.
But apparently it doesn't have tongue tracking.
Not yet.
Oh,
That's a software update, but still, I guess, right? So, they're almost there. But a lot of people use different headsets. I started off with the literally the Kickstarter reward Oculus Rift CV1. Yeah, like my friend just came by. He got it. He's always in Kickstarter. He's like, mBlade, like I don't know what to do with this thing. Like I'm too busy. Just drops it on my doorstep. Back in like 2015. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I played Elite Dangerous for a while, and then finally, I think I was watching Shiba Squad. But anyway, that was my first headset, and I actually loved it. Like those guys knocked it out of the park, with that design. Never actually played. I never used HTC or anything. Hey, who here has HTC headsets?
I have the original Vive.
Oh yeah.
I was using it until it broke recently.
Right on.
Wow.
Awesome.
My backup is my HTC board.
Oh, your backup, yeah. So who here's all Index? Holy cow.
You say index?
You keeping lights on at Valve headquarters, eh? Yeah. How many has there had the Index break?
Yeah.
Would you count the strap on
Mine
the
didn't break
Donkey
yet.
controller breaking?
I'm just 2
Snap it off?
cables and
Yeah.
5 controllers.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There you go.
Sure do love tether kids.
Yes, please, man.
I
Yeah.
have police.
So, how about Quest 2? Who else Quest 2?
I use it all the time.
Wow, eh? Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I use the Quest 2 as well from away from home. I just virtual desktop into it, and I'm still blown away. I always thought like over the air, tracking is kind of lame, but like it's actually really good. Like especially when I virtual desktop like 1,000 kilometers to my gaming computer. Like I'd rather suffer the latency of my hands versus like downloading everybody in the club. Yeah. So if you're Quest 2, do you guys use virtual desktop then? Or Link? Yeah. Airlink, yeah.
I most likely use.
Oh yeah. Who's here a Pimax? Who's a Pimax user? Oh,
Wow.
Was it 8K?
5K Mac.
5K Max. How you like it?
It's okay. I still use the index.
Oh, yeah. Well, the same friend who's a Kickstarter guy, Alexi, he came by with an 8KX. I literally unplugged my index and put his in, and base stations, everything still worked, And you know what? I couldn't go back to my index faster. I didn't really like it. There's too much blur on the peripheral, even though it's wide vision. But I couldn't get it. I would spend an hour fiddling with it, So yeah, I mean, Pimax they're very radical. I like to see if they can actually find and make an index killer, But we'll see, But yeah, I mean, the Quest Pro. I mean, who has a Quest Pro then? Oh, you do.
Oh, brand new one. All right.
Wow, good for you. Yeah, here the hand tracking is amazing because of cameras now and the controller, so you don't have to worry about including your headset. So yeah.
Okay.
How about full body tracking? Who's all that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Tundras. Oh yeah. Can it 3.0s? Everybody else? Yeah, right on.
No, not everybody.
2.0s then?
No.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, what else? Okay, besides the normal laser tracking, do you guys have slime? Slime. Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
built them myself.
Oh yeah, you built yourself too, eh?
Oh, wow.
Wow, good for you. I mean, I do electronics for suits. I mean, I
might as well.
didn't mean to buy the parts and do it, but I just got around to it.
So,
Well done.
did you make the mistake of using FT6050s for sliding?
Yeah, I use the really
Oh.
shitty ones, and they drift a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm really bad at soldering, so yeah, no, my
I don't think
body,
there's- I don't think there's any. I guess there's also the camera tracking, the
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Connect.
And PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
PlayStation as well has that.
Really? You get it all. Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Gil
Those,
did it. It's great.
oh yeah. I never tried one, but I always hear they're very limited. You can't really sit down, I guess.
No.
You
No.
can sit
But
down, but it's very limited.
Oh, okay,
It's
yeah.
more.
You can't cross your legs.
Yeah.
You cannot turn. You have to stay still. You cannot really turn.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the issue here.
I'm looking forward to those little round from China. I think those little round pucks. I forgot what they're called. Yeah, because just like slime, like I'm looking forward to just roll around in your bed and just
What's your wish list for a future headset? Let's hear it.
Oh.
I was hopeful for a Deca gear because they checked off a lot of boxes in their promises,
Oh, wow.
and I gave them $10 for a pre-order, and then they were just quiet. So go figure. But I try, Yeah. Anyway, we can move on along.
Sure. So,
yeah.
for those of you that are still on desktop mode or looking to dabble into VRChat in full, for a more immersive experience, you can go with some of the VR headsets that we've described. The three biggest heavy hitters right now are Facebook, Meta, however you want to call them, the Quest 2, or the Quest Pro, which is their newest iteration, the HTC Vive, which is a good middle-of-the-road headset, and then the Valve Index, which arguably is best in terms of quality, but is also the most pricey and is kind of fragile. But Valve's customer service is pretty good. If something breaks, they will typically replace it, no questions asked, although there might be a question about warranty and such. If you want to go for an even more immersive experience, you can get the full body trackers like we've been talking about. They are literally small devices using the straps on your ankles, your wrists, your elbows, legs, hips, what have you, for a more immersive demonstration of your movements, like our friend Vox the Rykor there dancing at one of the clubs. People will see you do that, provided your tracking is in order.
This actually reminds me of an idea for a Fruit panel idea. We actually set up a guy full body tracked standing here, but presenting on the projector, right, as your avatar. That'd be pretty cool.
You mentioned something about how massive the furry fandom is in VRChat, yes?
Yeah.
Would you like to touch on that?
I guess so. Who here was at FWA last year? All right, so you know how big that meet and greet was, eh? Yeah, that was insane. I never seen so many people in one room. It was insane. I'm not sure we even have a picture of. No. Oh no, but yeah, I think we had a couple thousand for sure in the ballroom at FWA. You know, we had some thousand total attendees. So, but yeah, but as furry and fandom, I guess as a whole, yeah, there's like with Furality, you see the numbers, our attendee numbers at Furality, if it's any indication, you know, like from the first Furality, right beginning FurCon back in 2020, we had like 2,000 to 3,000 people show up for just a FurCon to come out of nowhere in VR. And now Aqua just had like 14,000?
15.
15? Yeah.
Well, we will touch on that.
Yeah, we'll touch
We
about
will
that
definitely
later,
touch on
yeah.
that.
But, and we're expecting 20. We're predicting if we keep growing like this, right? So that's just people who just go to a VR FurCon. There's like so many more who go into VRChat. It's just incredible. You know, the club scene, which I'm more familiar with, is just hopping now, right? Like literally right now, there's a club happening, right? Yeah.
You did it first, right? You
Yeah.
did simultaneous live events in VR and, yeah.
Yeah.
Before most of the other clubs did it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we're synchronizing club and the VR side, like from at a con, right? Which, yeah, like when I started, I didn't really see any clubs happening, so I decided to, you know, do something for the furry fandom. And something, here we are still today. Anyway, yeah.
The running joke is that while there are tens of thousands, if not more than that, from the furry fandom in VRChat, the joke is we own the platform. Kind of like how we own Twitter, kind of like how we own Telegram. And the running question is, what is there to do in VRChat? The simple answer is, what do you want to do?
Yes.
Because you can do everything. And if it isn't there, build it.
Yeah.
There are other platforms out there such as Neos VR, Chill Out VR. For a time there was AltSpace, which was Microsoft's virtual reality platform, although that did shut down most recently because VRChat really is where it's at when it comes to virtual reality, gaming, socializing, and the like.
Oh, yeah.
And as we mentioned, it is available for free on Steam. It's just a matter literally of just downloading it, launching it, boom, you're there. You're in.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, if it doesn't exist, you can build it with tools provided through Blender and Unity, which allow you to build your own world, your own avatar. If you can think it and you can come up with a floor plan, you can make it. Don't be intimidated by the interface. And YouTube is a godsend. It will help you, trust me.
Yeah. There's a lot of Discord screen shares going on there. Right? Just find smart people. Help me.
Commander would know, how long did it take you to learn world development?
So I got started with my building career, if you will, in July of 2022. After I got done hosting a laser tag tournament, I wanted to do something for the hosts that helped me host the instances. Unfortunately, the maker of the arena couldn't do it, so I decided to do it myself. I called a friend who helped me out over the period of 3 months and made a badge for my friends. And then a couple months later, I got the idea that I wanted to stand up my own world, build something that I could use to showcase everywhere I've been, everything I've done. And in about 3 weeks, most of the modeling was done because I just threw myself into the interface. I got into the zone. If I didn't know something, I looked up how to solve that on YouTube and found it. Everything from how to curve a wall or how to retexture a wall or a corner. If you need help fixing it, you will find a solution to it on YouTube.
If I may.
Sure.
Who here builds worlds? Wow. And avatars too? Wow, see a lot of creators here, right? Like holy, like half the room basically. It's just amazing how we were just given the tools to do anything. We're literally given tools to make CGI movies and we're putting this into VR, you know? It's insane.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. I'm going to touch on that when we get to talking about cons and other assets. But yeah, remind me about the movies. But if we want to talk about the experiences from VRChat, there are those who have the experience of phantom touch or phantom sense.
Phantom touch?
That is particularly, yeah. Who else practices that or experiences those sensations when they play?
I'll remember that next time, Letty.
There you go. VRChat has been known to heighten those senses. There are some who feel that when they play VRChat or they participate in VRChat, it's almost like being inside somebody else's mind or somebody else's body. When you look down in the VR headset and you lift your hand, you don't see your human hand. You see the hand of whatever you are embodying. Those who are pursuing getting fursuits or are looking for an alternative to fursuits, when they look down, they see their fursona in the headset.
Yeah.
And it becomes something of a displacement, if you will, a disconnection from reality or an alternative reality that people experience through VRChat. There's no need to mirror dwell anymore because VRChat gives you a sense of belonging no matter where you go.
And your personal mirror.
And your personal mirror. There are also
Right?
some people who believe that when they play VRChat, they get so immersed with it that it becomes a sort of dream, or they forget that it's virtual.
Yep. We drop a drink on a table that's not there.
Exactly.
You know
I
what?
have put my fist against the trophy case a couple of times.
You know, one thing that really got me is when I had the Quest 2, I only intentionally used it just for virtual desktop, but I tried the native for a little bit, and that hand tracking, wow, that was a technology leap that blew me away. Like, yeah, I tried the index hand control, it's cool, but when you can physically do this with your paws in VR, that felt like a fursuit to me. Like, wow, you know.
It is a
Yeah.
revolutionizing experience.
I heard index cameras are doing that now. Somebody made a mod,
Yes.
right? I want to try that at some point when I get home.
We will touch on mods because we do have to make comment on those. Those of you who are aware of what happened last year, yeah, we'll definitely respond to that. We will take questions once we're done. We just want to process through this, of course.
We're going to be meeting and greeting during this meet and greet.
Yes,
Yes.
we absolutely will.
Yeah, we're gonna like move chairs or whatever. We'll just chat.
Yeah, we certainly will.
You know, we'll see what we're gonna do.
So these here, we were talking about creative tools and worlds and assets that you could design. All of these screenshots come from an art gallery on VRChat called VR Art, A New Place by Great Moon Aroma. All of these are 3D, built in the art gallery. From a charging horse to a whale exploding out of the ocean, upending a ship, or a swirling tornado, or a deer caught in the headlights at a checkpoint. This one here
I gotta check that out.
definitely speaks to me. This piece is called Fireman's Prayer. And the detail might be a little lost, but it is a blazing inferno and a fireman holding a little girl trapped. The fireman has removed his breathing apparatus and has placed it on the little girl's face
Oh,
as he mouths what could be his last words.
cool.
So as we mentioned, VRChat at one core is a video game, but obviously it is a more immersive video game. There are numerous game worlds out there, marketplaces, groups, hubs, you name it, there's probably some organization out there that plays games on a regular basis. Me personally, I host VRChat games every Thursday night, 6 p.m., and I broadcast to multiple communities, and it's open invitation, anybody can play. We do games like Among Us, before Among Us was Among Us independent of VRChat. The skeld was reconstructed in striking detail, to the point that you could have a friend walk up to you and say, "Hey Chevron," and then a knife plunges into your back while you're working on the memory game, trying to reactivate the reactor. We also do games like Murder 4, which is essentially a murder mystery game. Bystanders have to identify who the murderer is and find clues to revealing his identity, while a detective runs around with a revolver. The theme changes every holiday year, so that revolver is going to get a red nose and antlers for Christmas time. There's also Laserdome, which is one of the ultimate laser tag arenas for VRChat, designed by a gentleman named Cyrix, part of Cyrix Media. He is also responsible for creating Fate of the Earbloss, which is a space survival game, and Avi Wars. Who played Worms in the old days? Avi Wars is a faithful recreation of that in a hybrid 2D, 3D system. When you drop into the world, you have a gauntlet that allows you to select certain weapons and tools and launch them at your opponents. Last team standing wins. And before I launch to the next phase, everybody's contribution to the fandom is important and has an impact. No matter how small you think you are influencing people. You are influencing the fandom. You are helping the fandom grow both online and offline in an amazing way. Your presence here in this room helps support this con and VRChat. The communities that you play games with help those communities grow. And for that, you all deserve this.
Yay! We're part of the community.
The DJs we listen to, the clubs that we play in, the games that we play would be nothing without the attendees, the fans, the patrons, and everybody who shows up. That said, there are a number of people that we would like to acknowledge throughout this presentation. Firstly, this operator has been a member of the Laserdome community since pretty much the very beginning. She has won multiple tournaments back to back. Ladies and gentlemen, Nanaka Bun. These games get very intense. The last time I dropped into the world that was based on the Tron light cycle battles. You can see the screenshot here. That's Lilithe Lotor de-resing an opponent, by the way, making him slam headfirst into a wall. If you've ever played Snake, or if you've ever seen Tron Legacy, you can ride those bikes.
I'm also in the crowd, by the way, if you look for it.
Yeah, so am I. You can get in the crowd and, go nuts with the Mexican wave.
Just look that on Twitter.
One person that I played the Tron Light Cycle game with commented to me, "I can feel the battle in my blood." Another person said, "I'm standing in my room having an adventure." If that doesn't speak to the power of this platform, frankly, I don't know what does. There are even classic game show worlds like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. And there is one person in the audience that specializes in those on a regular basis. My friend, who I met last year, Leo Nakazuki. Leo, if you would, can you describe to us in brief maybe what it's like to be up on stage as a gaming contestant? Is the experience the same as what you'd see on TV, or is there something different to it?
It's kind of a bit of both, actually. I mean, you see obviously on TV the game shows and all that. Obviously, in the real world, there are actually certain audition processes you have to go through, like sign a lot of forms and everything. You have to go through certain mock trials and all that, like Wheel of Fortune, for example. Like, they have to go through a lot of customs and everything. A lot of things that they go through, like picking certain kinds of people and whatnot. In virtual reality, all you gotta do is join in and be a part of the community. If you're lucky, to be chosen randomly or something like that, you can just go up and you can be able to take part in the community, or you can even launch your own instance, just spin the wheel just for the heck of it by yourself. Do that.
Nice. All right.
Fun.
Beautiful. So as I mentioned before, VRChat also offers a lot of opportunity to socialize. Those who feel like they have difficulty making friends, or even going to in-person conventions or in-person meets like this one, will definitely find some relief. Those who have difficulty finding the motivation to exercise will find some relief in VRChat. There are groups out there called VR Fitness and Biking, which actually has people put the headset on and start doing stretches, push-ups, sit-ups, exercise, aerobics, maneuvers, what have you. That right there on the far right is Sora the Psych, one of the Ferality officers, leading a Ferality detail and doing some stretches. There are also worlds for sleeping and relaxation. There are people that have put the headset on, found a quiet, chill-out world, and then just gone right to bed. Because they find they can get better sleep in VR than in the real world, believe it or not. There are even groups out there that specialize in teaching international sign language. We will touch on that when we talk about cons. There are also those who suffer from social anxiety. There's the No Friends Friends Club. They meet on a regular basis in a classroom environment, and they have tips and instructions on the better ways of dealing with the extremes of social anxiety. They're all there to help each other. There are even filmmaking groups, role-playing groups. The movie We Met in Virtual Reality was filmed entirely in VRChat, and there are even pole dancing organizations. Don't laugh because it's great exercise, and we have seen it in the club.
Yeah.
We've also heard the crunch of people falling on their ass.
Yeah.
And speaking of clubs, we have the founding officer from Tailbase with us today. Tailbase specializes in live streaming services. They're a coalition of international DJs, some of whom are in the audience today. They have worked with Furnal and a number of cons to help set up portals like what you saw upstairs. They were principally responsible for connecting our portal to the virtual world. Ladies and gentlemen, mBlade.
So who here goes to clubs in VR? Pretty much everyone, eh? So it's just people who don't go, right? Some people are just, they want to go sleep or game or whatever, so it's cool. But yeah, a lot of us are clubbers, and that's what I like about it. As soon as I saw the first world with like the player, you can put URLs in, I'm like, oh, this is so cool, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It's been a fantastic ride. And if you guys don't know what Tailbase is, it's just a club I created after, literally a week after the first virality. I was doing a thing, just mBlade's Friday night party back in 2020, and putting URLs into a player, just one instance, you know, and then I started finding DJs who like to live stream, so I started organizing DJs, bringing them, and just planning that, and then I saw Dalton with Furnal. He's like, hey, I'm doing this thing, and I'm like, hey, do you need a club guy to run your club? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, here we go. So I whipped up like, 8 hours for 3 nights for the first virality, Fox Online Experience, FOX. And yeah, we came up, it was all live stream and everything, and then I saw a need for a continuous, like, because I knew virality be every 6 months or whatever, so I wanted something more casual, so I created Tailbase and started doing stuff like that, and then I got busy. We always do, right? With projects, I got busy. So I organized Tailbase more as like a community for clubs and VR portals, because that's what I have. I created the Tailbase Tatum bot for people to friend and join off. So, I mean, who's here like friends with the Tailbase bot? Yeah, so here you go, right? He's got to follow him around everywhere he goes. He goes online. His account's shared with lots of different coordinators, and he's just like the VRChat groups before they were groups, So.
Where's he going to be tonight?
Yeah. I'm talking with Radcon Cat with AV here. We're going to be running a VRChat portal at the dances tonight.
Oh, it's tonight. All right.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, after here, we're going to be hijacking one of their projectors and set up a camera, and away we go.
Outstanding.
Pending if internet works okay there, it'll be Wi-Fi, so I haven't tested that yet, but that is the goal for tonight.
By the way,
Yes.
if you want to log in an instance quickly, Doghouse is running right now today.
Oh, are they?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It's going to go until midnight.
Nice that
To
you
midnight
mentioned
today?
Yeah, till midnight today.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, the plan was just use the cave world, but the Tailbase cave world. I'm just going to broadcast like the stream in.
Okay.
But that's still up to change right now, because I think I'm going to do an actual portal.
Or second instance that we're running the Tailbase. The second instance is the Tailbase cave.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we can tie in. We can talk about that later. We can tie in with Doghouse. That'd be pretty awesome. I didn't realize they were in tonight, so yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
How many friends would you say the Tailbase bot has friended at this time?
Well, I've been looking at it all day today, so we are just shy of 1,700 friends in Tailbase. Yeah, almost as many as me, actually.
There you go.
That's how you do it in VRChat. Like I just got in, and I'm like, oh, you're a cool furry, let's be friends. Oh, you're cool, let's be friends, and I just keep going, and
that's how quickly it happens.
Yeah.
The furry the furry raving scene alone is massive. There are dozens of club worlds out there, dozens of clubs and organizations out there. They're very friendly, they're very supportive, but the clubs can get packed fast and they can get resource intensive. There are groups like Club Orion with the Orion Music Festival, Club Aviance, Miami Vice, Dance Dance VR, Vibe Night, Hex Furry Fest,
Vibe Night, yeah.
Placeholder Club, Doghouse Rave, of course.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, there are a number of people that we have here from those organizations and from these worlds.
Yeah.
Doghouse Rave being one of the newest scenes on the floor to hit the raving scene. One of the founding officers, Mr. Kane Wolf.
And Mr. Kane.
Candy Wolf, are you here?
Okay.
Oh, you couldn't make it?
I'm only outside right now.
Okay.
Oh, there are people lined up?
Are they? I thought the census was full. Where's the second instance? You're supposed to launch the second one.
Well, the second one's outside.
How's the performance so good in here?
Right, right. Well,
People keep sending me join requests, so I just press yes.
back in 2021, when Furnal Equinox went virtual, which is what enlightened a lot of us about Furnal Equinox, Candy Wolf played regularly at Furnal Equinox. He was one of the closing DJs, resident of Canada, and he's also playing at the Dead Dog on Sunday night. Woo! Hex Furry Fest is a 3-day raving event that's typically held in the aftermath of Furality, also taking in some of the best DJs in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Hexagon Jack. Woo! The founding officer of Hex Furry Fest.
Yeah.
This next DJ has played at FoxCon, Vibe Night, and is also a member of his local university's furry organization and was recently featured in his state's newspaper. Just call him Letty. No, ladies and gentlemen, just call me Letty. This next DJ, I've had the privilege of following for at least 2 years. He has played pretty much everywhere. FoxCon, Vibe Night, Hex Furry Fest, Fur Locker, and Furality not once, but twice. Ladies and gentlemen, Quebec's own, the best Shiba DJ in the world, DJ Amyot! Who is rocking his fursuit for the first time? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Looks good on you. As we mentioned, we all know what happened February 2020. We all know what 2020 was like. We saw a lot of cons cancel. We saw some conventions close their doors. Rest in peace for Furry United.
Yeah.
And then a lot of these organizations started discovering VRChat. And once Furality answered the question of whether VRChat could support a furry convention, a lot of them started migrating. COVID-19 brought us a lot of virtual conventions. Everything from Furrydelphia to Furnal Equinox itself went virtual in 2021, completely reconstructing the Western Harbor Castle lobby in amazing detail. Eurofurence, Anthrocon, furthermore, Anthro Expo, the Oklahoma Con, Texas Furry Fiesta, Biggest Little Fur Con, Anthro Northwest, and even Con Fur in Mexico.
Vancouver too.
Vancouver as well.
That's right.
Confer even hosted what's called an ofrenda. It is a pyramid of trinkets and memorials left behind at grave sites. They also had rings of grave markers you could activate, which honored those of the fandom who have passed on. So VRChat has become a place for conventions to also promote themselves, like CozyCon, which is Furnal Equinox's virtual partner, also based in Canada, a 2 or 3 day event that will honor all fandoms. Everybody from anime to the furry fandom to those who love playing video games. You can see panels on Twitch, on Discord, Telegram, and the like. So VRChat has become a crux that a lot of conventions will use to support their operations. It also serves the benefit of introducing people to what a convention might be like before they graduate to an in-person convention. Now, I know we talked about Furality. I know some of us are wearing the Furality shirts. Who here does not know what Furality is or has never been to one of their conventions? All right, some of you are about to get an education. But before I begin, how many here are part of the Furality staff? These are the people that deserve all the praise for becoming the biggest furry convention group, period. In May of 2020, with the world shutting itself down, the Furality online experience established itself and asked, could VRChat support a furry convention? 5 conventions and 1 mini event later, that question has been answered with a resounding yes. All the worlds are built in striking detail, beautifully done, all from the ground up, and available only for a limited time, for the duration of that convention. Then they will disappear. Furality hosts everything that an in-person convention has. a custom-built dealer's den, an artist gallery, real-world swag, shirts, posters, scented sprays. Please do not ingest.
Luma shots.
They did have pineapple glasses for a time during the second convention. I do remember that. They've also promoted themselves at in-person conventions with actual tables in dealers' dens and virtual dealers' dens. Their staff numbers over 170 volunteers. $15 gets you in for a weekend. Uncle Kage and both Whiskey Dingo served as guests of honor at these conventions. The biggest convention.
I don't think he's a guest of honor, but we had him as a panel.
What?
Kage.
Kage? No, he was guest of honor at the first one. The very first one.
Well, I had him as a panel. I brought him as a panelist. He's actually our very first panelist in Furnal.
Oh, Wiki Fur was wrong then.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, we haven't had a guest of honor yet. We haven't really had a proper guest of honor just yet.
So be it.
One
day. One day.
Yeah.
So, biggest convention was Furnal Aqua, June 2022. 15,079 people attended that convention over the course of the weekend, with I think at least 4,000 at peak at any one time.
Yeah.
The mini event that was recently held in February was the Luma Festival, essentially like a film festival of dancers, ravers, panelists, and the like, including Kudalen, who gave us an amazing full-body tracking performance.
Thank you.
That event alone had over 11,000 people. Also, as a charity organization, they donate to charity. They donate to the Save a Fox Rescue Group. Who here's seen Finnegan Fox on YouTube? That's the Save a Fox Rescue Group that they support. Furnal Aqua raked in over $22,000. Previous two conventions, Luma and Legends, raked in $14,000 each. Ever since day one, Furnal has been just blowing the doors off the social and the technological envelope. And in particular, this shot here was taken from Texel Sar's panel on how to set up a portal. That is a capture from Furry Weekend Atlanta 2022. On the left is an attendee at the in-person convention. He is having a conversation with this Tatum right here using sign language.
Wow. Yeah.
Again, speaking to the power of this platform that we have built from the ground up.
Yeah.
Silas Sable recently commented on the power and the success of the Furnal online experience. And regardless of the opinion of whether or not Furnal is a real convention, just because it's virtual, it cannot be denied that Furnal has made its mark on the fandom in an incredible way and has opened the doors to what is only possible. The future is ours.
Yeah.
Whatever we can create, whatever we can think of, we will do with VRChat the tools at our disposal because of everybody in this room.
I just want to say, if it wasn't for mBlade bringing me on to DJ for the first Furnal, I wouldn't have the confidence to play for any other clubs.
Yeah, good to have you.
So thanks, mBlade.
You're welcome. Thank you for playing.
Now, as we mentioned before, VRChat has given us the opportunity to continue being sociable with one another. It has promoted various conventions from all over the world. It stimulated the furry economy. You can make some decent money if your skills are developed building an avatar or building a world from the ground up. They can go from anywhere between $40 or upwards of $1,000 based on the level of movement and the rigging and the texture quality and the animations and the like. If your skills are developed, could be your side job. Also, in the event that you become quarantined because of COVID-19, you can still see your friends in VRChat. You can still get out of your house, in a sense. VRChat has allowed us to break through what would otherwise confine us. It's kept us busy, it's kept us active, engaged, and it has kept us together in times of crisis. And while virtual events are great, VRChat will never truly, fully replace an in-person convention because what's better than being able to do this? Good to see you, man. First time meeting this gentleman ever. First time meeting Amiat. First time meeting Letty. First time meeting a lot of people that we've all interacted with in VRChat over the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time checker is 45 minutes.
Roger. So, there was a comment about the issue with mods from last year. There are those who might say that people are packing up and leaving VRChat. That is not the case. What happened was VRChat made a partnership with the Easy Anti-Cheat program. But at the same time, they disallowed the use of any and all mods to their client. Mods that would help those with access issues, those with disabilities, those with other challenges. All of those were restricted. So there was a massive protest. There were over a couple thousand negative reviews of VRChat in the course of a weekend. And people started leaving and going to Chill Out or Neos VR. Then they started to realize that those platforms don't have anywhere near the development level or participation level that VRChat was, and now they've begun to come back. Regardless, VRChat has felt our rage, and they have started pushing out updates to better cater to helping those with disabilities and challenges and helping to improve their platform. Also, those that are developing the Unreal Engine have started to realize the power of virtual reality. They are now training doctors to perform complex surgeries in VR. There are car development groups that are building whole engines in virtual reality. No longer having to go over what the project looks like on a PowerPoint presentation, the engineers can now put the headsets on in VR and see that engine in all of its glory and all of its detail in real time right in front of them.
Yeah.
You work in...
I work in heavy industrial as a pipe fitter. So we have a model station that can view the plant and see how it's built. And they also have VR headsets that they can put on and actually walk through the plant and check it out. So yeah, it's pretty neat what they can do there, right?
The future of troubleshooting may be in virtual reality.
If you take them out to the field and just put it on, you can see an empty rack and go, oh, okay, that's where a pipe goes.
But other than that, questions? Yes?
I was going to say, like, I work as an environment artist professionally, and something that I've done for clients is they wanted a prop to be moved. So in VR, I literally walked up, picked up the prop, moved it, and it said, that's perfect. I didn't have to go mess around with my keyboard. I just picked it up.
That's awesome.
It was great.
All right.
Anybody else have like prosumer uses for VR, like in your work, or because I'm very curious, like how much is being used?
Well, advertising like talents, like music, being able to perform even music within VR as well.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm a cellist for the next few compositions coming up for the next reality as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that stuff is like being able to have new ways of being able to use trackers like around straps around your arms, just to be able to perform whilst in VR with objects made in VR as well.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Using Glycon to motion capture stuff, put in the Blender so you can have motion capture in Blender kind of cheatingly.
Yeah.
If it gets the job done. Yeah.
It's still in super early development, but I work for an AI company that is currently partnering with some brands or possible brands for headsets and VR, so that way you can have an AI assistant you can talk to in your headset for things like building engines and things when you need, you know, you're working with your hands in VR and you need to speak and get help.
Hey, yo, Jarvis.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Josh.
Josh.
When I get my full body, I'm going to start teaching dance in VR.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
We should talk.
Yeah. Power of the platform.
Go through. Yeah.
The power to bring people together into whole classes in VR, regardless of anything that gets in the way.
We're here.
Yeah.
Actually being able to teach people how to film within VR as well. That's a really big one, like making shows. Like, for instance, a recent upcoming one is one called The Cleanup Crew. That's a new one that is coming out as well.
Okay.
And, I mean, the Shiba assassination movie, that's something that they run up as well.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'll throw one in as well. Not only is told the improv groups here, we also host improv groups in VR, do workshops, teach people. We teach people social skills. Sometimes we partner with the Antisocial Social Club to do stuff with them. So it's everything.
Yeah.
Actually, as a member of the cleanup crew,
Hey.
we're using both full body and facial and eye tracking to animate the characters for us for filming in the show.
That's pretty cool.
We're having a really good time doing it.
Yeah.
Big one is
How's it going?
certainly photography, dynamic photography, lighting, everything, staging. So easy to do live in VRChat. You just grab a light, move it. Everything's full space, everything's service side.
And speaking of VRChat and the conventions that have grown through it, if anybody has any questions about the getup that I've got here, I was born out of VRChat as well. I am cosplaying Badgie, the unofficial mascot from the virtual Furnal Equinox convention of 2021, also partly built by Lilith. It is an avatar made of literally nothing but attendee badges. It is a joke that has been taken way too far. Your precious child, indeed, that used to have a lightsaber and a Rubik's Cube that would throw at people. It's great. Other than that, welcome to our meet and greet. If you have any other questions, please come on up and ask. Yeah, go ahead.
You want to talk about jokes going too far? mBlade started the whole DJ Blue Bins thing.
Okay, this I gotta hear.
We're all listening.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
You know, when Jack was starting off, he had like these two like blue storage bins he put his decks on.
Because I didn't have a table.
So that's what that was.
I'm always funny on
Hexbury
OBS, you know.
Fest.
If you see me during the portal, I'm always messing around doing silly stuff. And I was
Now
like,
I get
hey,
it.
I'm like, DJ Blue Bins!
Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, by all means, come on in. Meet
Yeah.
your fellow players in virtual reality. Reality, virtual reality, what have you. Come on in. Come on in.
Get some water if you can.
Yeah. We will have a big group photo in about 10 minutes.
I don't mind having my face plastered.
How you doing?
Okay,
Funny enough.
Question. Yeah, hit me.
When do you think you'll have that portal up at the dance?
I'm personally not. I'm not aware of what exactly they're going to do with it because that was just swung up here. So I imagine they're going to have it up about the time that the rave actually begins.
Oh, okay. So that'd be finish, I guess?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a complete VR noob, but I have friends that are into it, so I could say, hey, try to meet me there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have tried my friend's Valve Index, and it's quite the experience.
Yeah, the index really is one of the best bangs for your buck, quite honestly.
Yeah, so...
Hi. Just hanging out. Oh, wait. Yeah, great. Yeah, welcome to the party.
Oh my god, oh shit, what do you mean?
I know the thing I mostly do is hang out in the VRChat Discord server and help people make avatars.
Yeah.
I have about 8,000 messages in that server.
Oh my god, wow.
I just put it up before I ended. It is.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, the VRChat community for the fandom alone has just been massive.
Yeah.
Everybody's been involved in this.
So, yeah.
Hi, yes. Tear
Mostly I spend most of my time doing always.
How do you see through googly eyes?
Same as you.
Oh, you got the little tear ducts. Yeah.
I can play
Temporary.
Yeah.
Multiplayer, also multiple avatars, and the custom protocols.
That's impressive.
It's been my like 1 year long project that has been redone like 15 times.
Yeah.
That never gets anywhere.
There have been some headbanging moments, haven't there?
But it's one of those things where I constantly come back to it. Like this.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work with this.
Hey, Leo. Well done, man. Good to see you. Hey, what's up?
I'm connected with Leo there. I'm one of the many admins for the Game Show First group.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's mine, actually. It's still recording.
Okay.
Sorry.
I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
I made this suit. I based it off my character that I made back in early 2018. Yeah. And I've been changing it up, adding onto it over the years.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask from someone that didn't see me making it, is it still recognizable as my avatar?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I need to see your avatar again, but
I would like to know. Is it, can someone guess what avatar base this is from?
Oh, it looks like a rabbit. Right? Maybe? Maybe a mannequin?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in fact, that's...
Probably recognizable by the tail.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, one of our laser dome operators uses the Nazi avatar almost exclusively. Yeah. Hey, Renard. Well done getting the footage for us, by the way.
Yep, anytime.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting more and more involved with the VR team. Something local every year, so.
I honestly thought that didn't know it was only going to just solely talk about the game shows. I thought at one point you implied like you wanted me to like sort of share like how virtual reality like shaped me. It's like doing
time socializing,
like one and like how I developed.
I'm just hoping someone will just recognize.
Something like that. I guess I'll have to make my own panel about it. Something like that.
Share that with other people, of course.
That's true, yeah. But that being said, either way, there is a mission that I really want to get out of the way and all that. I promise you a gift from you to give with. I promise you something.
What?
There's originally going to be one. There's originally going to be two. And then you know what? Screw it. I love you to the point where I try to get the entire thing.
How the hell am I going to get there through customs?
Your guess is as good as mine. It is in your possession now.
Thank you.
You are very
Thank
welcome,
you.
by the way.
You realize I'm addicted. You're feeding my addiction. You realize that, right? Thank you. Thank you very
I
much.
can be a good and bad influence too.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. If I get my phone out real quick, you get a shot of you and me, just like what they Mountain Dew.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? Let's. What time is it? Whatever. You know what? Let's do it now.
6:21.
All right. Who is ready for the big fursuit photo? Or the big group, wait a minute. Sorts of, who's ready for the big group shot? Yeah! All right. Yeah! What? Let's see. Let's see. There you go. You can mount that to the tripod, right?